Hello everybody, happy Friday night. Welcome to my Zen Den. My name is Mandy Van Havermont and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! From Gray Eagle, Minnesota. I feel like Shrek. They're like sticking out. There we go. Okay, I'm going to share with you tonight a really fun technique. I'm going to show you a card that I got on a swap from a lady named Tracy Filter, and I loved how it looked. It's called a Faultline card. It's the Faultline technique. I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to get talking about it. It is such a fun technique, and it took me a minute to figure out how she did it, and then once I found out how she did it, it's like, oh, that is so cool and it's so easy. So let's flip the camera around and get stamping. All right. So I got this card, like I said, it's from a friend of mine that's in a swap. Her name is Tracy Filter. And here is the inspiration for my live tonight. This is the card. It's called a fault line technique. And so of course it's a fault line, right? So it's got just this little peekaboo, and it's tearing paper, which I think is a really fun technique that it's kind of hard to do sometimes. We are like, oh, we don't want to tear the paper, but it's super, super pretty. So I'm going to show you how to make this, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Here's what we're going to need. So I'm really changing up the colors. Let's see here. I have got, and I have not made this combination yet, so we'll see how it works out. I've got a piece of Night of Navy, 8.5 by 5.5, scored right down the middle at 4 1/4. So it's just a basic card base. And then I've got a piece of basic white that is 2.5 by 5.5. And then I've got this beautiful Mediterranean Blooms Designer Series paper. It's also 2.5 by 5.5. This is like, if you look in the catalog, I want to say it's in the big, I know it's in the big catalog. Oh, here it is on page 35. It's the Mediterranean Blooms suite. And I have to say, I did not order the suite, but I love this paper and I haven't used it nearly enough. I think it's so pretty. So we're going to use it tonight because I thought, what a great way to let that peek through. And then of course you're going to need a piece of cardstock for the inside. That's 4 by 5 1/4. Just the inside of our card base. So here is what we're going to do. This piece is going to be the piece that peeks through, okay? The piece with the oranges. The white and this other piece, which I've used a lot, most of the times I've used just another piece of cardstock, and that's what Tracy did on her card. Where will I find it? She peeked through the plaid, and she used, it looks like basic beige and pebbled path. She used those two pieces of cardstock. I'm going to try it with a piece of Designer Series paper. So I'm just going to line those two up so that they're equal, and then I am going to tear them. And I'm going to keep them together as I tear them, and that's what's going to cause the fault line. Okay, just like that. And that's how we're going to leave it. So now when I attach those down to my card front, that is how it's going to do it. And that's how it makes it exactly perfect. So they run along each other, and it's going to create that fault. Isn't that fun? It is. It's like so clever. And so then this is going to go behind it, and that's just going to peek right out. So pretty. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble our card. Let's fold our card base in half. And let me find a bone folder. All right. So the way that I attach these is I flip them over, and I'm going to put adhesive on this part, and I'm going to put adhesive on this part, so that when I lay it together, both of them are going to catch and they're not going to ooze over. What did I just say? So what did I just say I was going to do? So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive there and a little bit of adhesive here. And you could use whichever adhesive you like. Glue is going to give you a little bit more wiggle room. I just personally like the Stamp and Seal. Okay, so there's our first one. And we're going to do the same thing here. So just like that. And if you wanted to burnish your edges a little bit more, you totally could do that. But I found that this is actually a really, really quick card to make. So we're going to those are going to go like that. And if you wanted to leave a thing on the edge, you can. I'm going to grab my little tiny trimmer just because I'm kind of fussy. I don't like, you can see my edge. I just don't like it. It makes me just not as happy. And you could use a scissors to cut it, but I've got my tool, so why not use it, right? My little trimmer here is the handiest little trimmer I've ever gotten. Love it. Okay, so let's adhere this down. We're gonna kind of put it on here without putting any adhesive and see what we wanna do. And I think, do I want to leave, I'm deciding, do I wanna leave a little navy blue? I think I do. That would be quite striking if I leave just a little bit of navy there. And I think I'm going to do that. So roughly right there is where I'm going to put my cardstock, my oranges. Just like that. And I'm a little bit over on my overhang here too again. So let's take care of that. All right. So now I'm going to adhere this down. And like I said, I'm going to leave just a little bit on the edge because I like that blue, that navy on the outside. Isn't that's striking? I like it. Okay. And then this piece, just like that. And I haven't stamped it yet, but we're going to do that at the very end and hope it works good. And if it doesn't work, guess what? We'll figure it out. And the reason it wouldn't work is because there's layers of cardstock that aren't even, but I have every confidence in the world that it's going to be just fine. Isn't that striking? I love that. I think that is so cool. So you could do it like that, or you could do it like that. I like it this way because my oranges are kind of hanging down a little bit that way. I'm going to use a sentiment, just a simple, from the Simply Said, I'm going to use hello. I've got my Night of Navy ink pad. We're going to tap this, just tap, 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 and I'm putting the hello right down there. Perfect. Yay! I like it when it works. And then I'm going to grab, let's see, I'm going to grab, I think, some gold. Do I want the gold? I don't want white. I don't want copper. What do I want? Can you believe it? I don't have any navy colored I don't have any navy colored dots. Otherwise I'd use navy colored dots, but I don't have any. So we're going to use gold. So I'm going to grab some gold sequins, which are going to be just as striking and beautiful. Got my take your pick tool that just picks those up ever so nicely. Let's see here. Where should I put this one? How about right there? Just like that. And there is my Faultline card. Is that not the funnest, simplest card ever? It's so striking, and your friends are going to say, how did you do that? It's really not that hard, and that's the kind of card that I love, right? So I'm going to show you a few more. This is the card that Tracy made. Beautiful. I love it. Simple. This, as I was making cards, I thought, oh, this one's cute. It's pretty. It's very monotone, and I like that. That's the opposite side of the designer series paper. How did you like that designer series paper, by the way? How it's, instead of the cardstock, it was the designer series paper. I think that's really neat. I like it. And then these were the two that I figured out how to make the Faultline. These were the first ones. And of course, if you use less paper, your Faultline is going to be bigger. So if you use less cardstock, that's going to make your Faultline bigger. And if you get to where, like this one was my first one, and I'm like, it's very thin. If you wanted to, you could spread that out and trim also. It's a very forgiving technique, and it's a lot of fun to play with. Look at that paper. Isn't that paper fun? That is from the new releases. I can't remember. It's the texture one. It's so pretty. It's like baskets and weaving. So cool. I love it. Anyhow, so there are my cards for tonight with the Faultline technique. I hope you guys give this a try. You're really going to like it. Like I said, it's one of those techniques that it's super forgiving, and people are going to look at it and go, how did you do that? Yeah, it's going to make you look really clever. So I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you get some stamping in. I will not be live next Friday night because I'm going to be in Raleigh, North Carolina at Onstage. I'm hoping to check in with you guys. I'm really excited for Raleigh. It's going to be so much fun. And I can't wait to share with you. I'm going to get a new catalog. I can't wait to share with you all the new goodness that's coming from Stampin' Up. So I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you back here next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.